It's my pleasure today to report on the state of the school in 2025. The state of the school is very strong, as I will discuss with you our research, our education, and our clinical accomplishments over the past year. As you all know, however, that we face challenges, and I'm going to articulate how we are facing those challenges in the coming year. Let's start with how we're doing from a research point of view. As I have mentioned to you many times over the years, the most important aspect of the research that we do at Mount Sinai is that it changes the lives of our patients. And as you can see on this slide, which summarizes some of the research that we have done over the past year, that they do make a difference in the lives of our patients. Whether it's patients with hypertension, or patients with forms of cancer, or inflammation problems, neuropsychiatric problems. And you can see here some of the work relates to depression and neurodevelopmental disorders and lung cancer, among other problems. Our scientists have made a difference over the past year. Now, we are recognized throughout the United States and throughout the world for the excellence in our research. Now, for example, right now we are ranked 11th in NIH funding among all medical schools. 17 basic and clinical science departments are ranked in the top 20 in terms of funding, and we ranked in the 99th percentile among private medical schools in indirect cost recovery per investigator. And look at these departmental rankings in terms of our NIH funding. In the basic scientists, you can see in neuroscience, we're ranked second, in pharmacology, second, and 10 or below in the other basic science departments. And our clinical departments are also really doing a great job attracting NIH funding, and really this is just the beginning. I expect this to go even higher over the next coming years. So we are essentially a research powerhouse. This slide just gives some additional examples of the kind of research that we are doing that literally makes a difference. Now, what is on the horizon? A few months ago, I asked our top scientists to develop a new strategic plan for research at the Icahn School at Mount Sinai. And this work, by the way, was led by Eric Nestler, our Dean for Academic Affairs, and our Chief Science Officers. The goals are high. We want to redefine human disease. We want to develop treatments for the 21st century. And also, very important, we want to promote health and disease prevention. So how are we going to accomplish this? Bringing biomedical engineering and artificial intelligence into the mainstream of medicine, to create a learning health system, to apply data analytics to inform clinical decision-making and optimize patient care in real time, and to train the next generation, to cross-train with dual degree programs, AI-driven education to result in optimal, safe, and ethical use of generative artificial intelligence. Over the past year, we have expanded our research space at 787 11th Avenue, 619th West 54th Street, and opened up a new building, the James Family Building for Artificial Intelligence, that also includes space for biomedical engineering and genomics. One important goal for Mount Sinai Science is to accelerate innovation and entrepreneurship. So here are some examples of how we are doing in terms of this goal. We've had 970 faculty engagements, 68 licenses and options. As you can see on this slide, 300 research contracts, and so on and so forth. So I'm very happy with this accomplishment, but we want more to occur in the future. We also spin out new companies, and you can see here some examples of the companies we have spun out in the past year. We never stop recruiting and to promote our best scientists and clinicians. So this slide shows examples of that. One note is the promotion and reassignment of Evan Fladow to be a Dean for Clinical Affairs that will work with many of you in further expanding the size and quality of our clinical programs. We are further investing in our Department of Artificial Intelligence and Human Health, and when it was formed several years ago, it was the first such a department in any medical school in the United States. Girish Nadkarni has been named the chair of the Wainwright Department of Artificial Intelligence and Human Health, and Alex Charney has been named the vice chair of that department. And you can see here on this slide the goals for the department, and it certainly is consistent with our strategic plan going forward. Over the past year, we have continued to recruit literally the best and the brightest researchers and clinicians in multiple departments, as you can see from this slide. Several years ago, actually at the height of the pandemic, we established the Center for Stress, Resilience, and Personal Growth. And that center provided much needed care, support for our frontline healthcare workers. In 2025, we are celebrating the 5th anniversary of this center, which continues to provide great care for our healthcare workers and other individuals who need care for serious forms of depression and anxiety, and those that are experiencing a difficult stress. And our Office of Wellbeing and Resilience, under the leadership of Jonathan Ripp and Lauren Piccarello, has continued to provide a variety of programs to enhance well-being and resilience throughout the medical school. Let me talk about medical education. Under the leadership of David Thomas, our Dean for Medical Education and Chair of the Department of Medical Education, we are initiating a new curriculum, very exciting curriculum, state-of-the-art curriculum in educating our medical students, called the Ascend curriculum. And you can see here on this slide the features of that curriculum, which we're very excited about starting this past year. And I also want to mention that we are going to renovate our classrooms and laboratories and begin the process of establishing a centralized simulation center. The quality of our medical students continues to be among the various highest quality among any medical school in the United States and, in fact, the world. You can see here the metrics that characterize our medical students in terms of their MCAT score and their GPA, but most importantly, we attract students who are passionate, who are dedicated to be the best physician, the best scientist, and to be very strong advocates so that we can provide the very best medical care for the patients that come through our doors. Similarly, our graduate school is also attracting outstanding students, and you could see on this slide the size of the class, which was increased in the past year, their GPA, the highest in the history of our graduate school, and again, their work is characterized by passion, dedication, commitment to excellence, and as you can see, many of them come to Mount Sinai with already a strong publication record. Under the leadership of Marta Filazzola, the graduate school continues to advance in amazing ways. Record-breaking PhD and master's recruitment and admissions, more joint programs, collaborations, and so on and so forth. I'm very happy about the quality of our graduate school and the trajectory in becoming one of the best graduate programs related to biomedical science in the United States and the world. Recently, we established a new Department of Public Health under the leadership of Rosalind Wright, who's our inaugural Dean for Public Health. And some of the key features of this department is to integrate public health across our School of Medicine research, to further grow our master's program, and we are working to establish a PhD program in public health. Several years ago, we established a Center for Engineering and Precision Medicine in collaboration with RPI. The co-director of our program is Preeti Balchandani. She's done a terrific job in establishing this center and moving it forward. We recently got approval for a PhD program in biomedical engineering. It's a collaborative effort between Mount Sinai and RPI. We essentially will be training engineers to address unmet clinical needs, to invent new devices, and we'll be focusing on neuroengineering and immunoengineering. The Arnhold Institute for Global Health continues to be one of the best programs in public health in the United States and the world under the leadership of Rachel Freeman. The program in Guyana is literally amazing. It is improving primary care, children's health screening, introducing electronic medical records in that country, and modernizing pathology and laboratory services. How about our graduate medical education? Under the leadership of Michael Lightman, our Dean for Graduate Medical Education, we continue to be, on one hand, the largest GME programs in the United States, and the quality of the programs is outstanding. And I want to compliment Michael Lightman for his leadership in leading such a large program, and year after year, working with our chairs and program directors to continue to increase the quality and literally the excellence of our training programs. This year we are pursuing a reaccreditation from the Middle States Commission on Higher Education under the leadership of Phyllis Schneff. We're very confident that that will lead to a successful reaccreditation, and I really want to thank Phyllis for her enormous efforts in leading this process. I want to highlight some other accomplishments. The Institute for Health Equity Research continue to conduct very important research in reducing health disparities and supporting health equity. What's on the horizon when it comes to ambulatory care? And here I want to highlight the leadership of Kelly Casano, who's our Chief Executive Officer of the Mount Sinai Doctors Faculty Practice. And this slide describes our plans to expand the Mount Sinai Health presence through organic growth, partnerships, and acquisition to further advance our mission to take care of patients in the communities that we serve. Year after year, the growth of the Mount Sinai Doctors Faculty Practice is extremely impressive. You can see here total receipts on the left and the expansion of the ambulatory volume. And we are expanding our new ambulatory locations, as you can see on this slide. Our development office continues to do an outstanding job. You can see here the Limitless campaign has come to a close and has exceeded the goals by upwards of 117%, having raised over $2.3 billion. So, what have we done? We have, over the years, made our medical school to go from good to be truly great. We've recruited brilliant faculty. We've expanded our research funding dramatically. We conduct groundbreaking research that helps our patients. We educate the best and the brightest. And as I mentioned, we have the nation's largest residency program. We are a culture of collaboration and entrepreneurship. Yet we do face challenges. As you know, we're worried about our NIH funding, whether it's the indirect cost recovery percentage or whether it's the NIH funding granting process. We're also concerned about society's commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion, which has been very important in terms of our own values. And I want to assure you that our institution, in terms of its leadership, is working very hard to deal with these problems. We have innovative solutions for each of these problems that will become apparent to all of you in the coming weeks and months. I'm very confident in our leadership and how they will overcome these problems like we have in the past. If you think back over the last literally 20 years, when over 20 years ago, we had to overcome a financial crisis in the school and the health system. In 2008 and 2009, we dealt in an exemplary fashion with the recession of our country in terms of the availability of funds. We dealt with Hurricane Sandy with great courage, and the same with the pandemic. So, we know how to prevail. And I'm very confident that we will prevail over these challenges. And lastly, I've been dean for the last 18 years. It has been my honor to serve as your dean. It's been a great ride for me. You know, as many of you know, I will be stepping down as dean at the end of June. I really miss doing this job, but I'm not retiring. I will continue to be on the faculty, and I look forward to continue to, work with many of you in that new role. So again, congratulations to all of you for another great year in terms of accomplishments in research, in education, in clinical care, and I'm confident, despite the challenges, that we will have another strong year in 2025 and beyond. Thank you very much.